returning from an executive session, and 2 items will be reported out later in the agenda. I would ask everybody to stand for the pledge, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And I would advise everybody that we are being broadcast live and recorded by the Raynham Channel. Do I have a motion for the minutes?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
That is approved. Department heads, Jim Donovan, Chief. Yeah, you can go first.
Good evening. Activity report for the month of July for the fire department. Fire incidents were 108, ambulance calls were 208, and fire alarm inspectional services was at 100. And we had our ambulance went mutual aid 3 times. Last year at this time we were at 1,683 runs. This year we're at 1,913 runs, which is 230 runs higher than last year. I could tell you a couple times in the month of July we had the call started in the morning, and it started as a triple call where they came in kind of one after the other, went to a double call, and then later in the afternoon did another triple call. So we're pretty steady and pretty busy. That's all I have for the board tonight, unless anybody has any questions.
Mr. Shiva?
None, thank you.
Ms. Riley?
I have no questions.
Great.
Just thank you for all your efforts.
Thanks, Ms. Riley.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Jim, you're up.
Rather brief. In the month of July, the police department logged 1,725 calls for service. There were 630 calls via 911, and there were 37 bookings.
Wow.
And
That's it?
yes.
All right. Any questions, Mr. Shiva?
That's a lot.
Yes, volume, but most of it relatively peaceful.
Yeah, good. Good. That's great.
We like.
Ms. Riley, any questions?
No, again, just thank you for all your efforts in your department.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we have no appointments this evening. Public hearings, we have one. It's a request for a transfer of a license from Escapade 77 Broadway. And David Leghetto is the applicant. He is here with us. Mr. Leghetto, would you mind going up to the podium? If you'd like, this is a public hearing, so after you do your presentation, the board will have an opportunity for questions and any members of the public. So if you have a presentation you want to give to us, you can. Otherwise, your application looks to be in order, including the posting requirements.
So I'm good, as long as, everyone's good here. If you have any questions.
Okay, great. Any questions, Mr. Shiva?
None for me.
Ms. Riley?
No.
Okay. Any members of the public? Sure, if you could come up and then just state your name and address for the record, please.
Thank you. Dr. Leo Warkan, I have a chiropractic office, which is in a butter across the street.
Yep.
And mainly here, out of interest, I didn't know what was happening across the street, and just looking for some information.
Okay. Dave?
Well, obviously, we just purchased the building, so we're going to end up, we're not 100% sure what we're going to do with it, but we're going to try to make it a fried seafood, ice cream possibly, dine in or dine out. Again, it's still, everything's still up in the air a little bit, but that's our basic concept. So we're going to fix it up and make it look, a lot nicer than it is right now.
Is the building being taken down, or?
Most likely. We have to do our research first as far as if it's salvageable, what part of it is, if any. Maybe we just keep the concrete. We don't know yet. We've got to really look at it because it's an old building.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it will. I don't know if you're familiar with Barrels and Boards at the other end of 138. We're going to make it nice. It'll be a pretty cool place.
Okay.
Any other questions? If you do, you have to come back up.
Okay, I think I'm good.
All right, thank you. All right, if there's no other questions from the board, I would just add my 2 cents. I'm thrilled to see this happening. I think you took one dump and turned it around, and I have every confidence you'll take the second dump and turn it around. In addition,
Yes, we can.
Yeah. In addition to that, your reputation precedes you, Dave. I think
Cool.
In terms of operating a business, you've been absolutely top notch. In addition to that, the Portuguese pizza is amazing. And so I wish you a tremendous amount of success, and I
Appreciate
personally
that.
thank you for your continued investment in our community. So,
Well, thank you.
what's the board's pleasure?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That is
Aye.
approved unanimously.
Great.
Thank you.
Good luck.
That hearing is adjourned. Old business, discussion and action, Board of Selectmen goals. Ms. Riley, I know you had tabled this 2 weeks ago and presented to us a consolidated plan. Do you want to tee us off?
Sure, just, again, I think they're general enough that we can make specific goals out of that. Obviously, you know, for the improved municipal services, our focus would be on considering the recommendations of the Department of Local Services and the Collins Center, and to see if we want to adopt any of those. I think that should be our focus. Human resources development, I think we sort of count on our human services coordinator to see what progress we can make along those lines. Also, financial sustainability, we have a new finance director, and I think he will take the lead on that. Communication improvement, our town administrator can work with us on that, because that's always, you know, a main issue is trying to improve communication. So we certainly want to focus on that. And as far as long-term planning, we have so much that we're working on. Our building committee is working on our public safety building and an animal shelter for the town. And in addition to that, the master plan is in process. We want to support that and bring that to fruition. So I think they're broad, but I think we can make lots of progress. We've already made great inroads in most of these, and I think we can, go forward for the year ahead.
All right. Mr. Shive, any feedback?
No, I think that the list is very comprehensive. I think that what the board would be best to do is to establish some priorities, because we can't work on them all at the same time.
Sure.
So let's determine as a board what's the top 2, 3, or whatever the top one, and then kind of work through them sequentially, rather than try to do them all at the same time.
Do you have a preference for priorities, or do you want us to toss out our ideas?
Yeah, toss out ideas, I think. I don't have any particular.
A lot are already in process, so probably I would think on the improved municipal services is to take a look at those Department of Local Services and Collins Center recommendations and seeing which ones we want to seriously consider and go forward.
Is that your proposal for one?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. If I understand it correctly, Pat, it's to take a look at some of the interesting proposals that Collins Center recommended, and I do think there's some very interesting ones there in terms of coordinating some of our activity, and I would definitely put that at the top of the list in terms of how we can best structure the way we operate, and I think that's the one we should really focus on.
Okay.
Okay.
My only 2 cents, I'm fine to go along with that. I would say number 2, though, should be communication, because I think if effective and sustainable communication is not in place, then you struggle accomplishing anything else on that list.
Totally agree.
Fine.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Totally.
All right.
Yep.
Do I have a motion then?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That is approved unanimously. Any other old business, Mr. Shivo?
None.
Ms. Riley?
I have none.
All right. New business, discussion and action, the Gymkhana building. This is one of our first report outs from executive session. A while back, Mr. Shivo had led the effort to find a permanent location for animal control. And after lengthy conversation with Park and Rec, the building commissioner, the building department, Park and Rec, Raynham Animal Control, and legal counsel, a 2-page document has come about, which in part would allow both Park and Rec and ACO, by way of Board of Health, to operate jointly in that building after renovations are made. We had voted this out unanimously in executive session, and so if there's no other comments, I'd entertain a motion to finalize it at this time.
So move.
I'll second that, and under discussion, I'll just say I'm thrilled to see this, because this accomplishes everything we wanted to accomplish, and it's a great example of, our team spirit, of which is so important in town, of our different departments working together to accomplish what we need to.
Absolutely. So I have a motion and a second, and I would just add as well, the significance of this document is because the way the deed is written requires Park and Rec to collaborate on this so as to not conflict with recreational activities. So Park and Rec's support and cooperation and assistance on this was instrumental to keep us, according to legal counsel, in compliance with that state deed. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That is approved unanimously. Next on the agenda is the second piece of business from executive session. It's posting of a community services director. By way of background, as the board is aware and the public might be aware, we received the retirement letter from our COA director, Council on Aging director, and the board took some time to look at our options, and relying in part on the needs of the community, in part on the Collins Institute. We've made a determination to make some adjustments to it, including the title change to Community Services Director. The principal function will continue to be oversight and administration of the Council on Aging, but this also will call for the creation of an advisory ad hoc panel that this position will chair in collaboration and cooperation with the Board of Health, with the Veteran Service Officer, with the Assessor's Office, with Park and Rec, with the Housing Authority, kind of bringing everybody under one umbrella at least a few times a year to find ways and collaborate and enhance and increase programming and services within the community. What is the board's pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That is unanimous and can be posted forthwith. All right. Any other new business, Mr. Shiva?
None.
Ms. Riley?
No.
Okay. Town Administrator's Report, Mr. Waters.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Coming up, we have a special meeting next week on August 17th. The Board of Selectmen will be holding a special meeting to interview candidates for the treasurer-collector position starting at 5:30 p.m. That will be posted this week. Town Hall Tuesday night hours beginning in September. Town Hall will be open on Tuesday evenings again from 6 to 8 p.m. During our selectmen's meetings, the public will be able to come in and participate in the meetings as well as take care of town business at our offices. Upcoming, the next regularly scheduled selectmen's meeting will be Tuesday, August 24th at 7 p.m. right here in the Don McKinnon Meeting Room of Town Hall, 558 South Main Street, Raynham, Massachusetts. The public will be able to participate by watching the Raynham Channel on Verizon, Comcast, or recording later posted on YouTube. And a quick reminder that will be no selectmen's meeting on August 31st, our last bye-week of the summer. That is all I have, Mr. Chairman, unless there's comments or questions by the board.
Any questions, Mr. Shiva?
None.
Ms. Riley?
No.
Okay. Selectmen's Report, Mr. Shiva?
None tonight.
Ms. Riley?
I have a couple brief things. Our Raynham Historical Commission met on Thursday, July 29th in the meeting room at the Raynham Library with Commission Chairman Jeff Kelleher and members Karen Jackson, Diane McGuire, Maggie Sylvia, and ex officio member and Raynham Library Director Eden Ferguson in attendance. The Commission received a copy of a letter from the Mass Historical Commission regarding its recommendation that an archaeological survey be conducted at the proposed site for the new public safety building. We've passed our copy along to our building commissioner, and that's going to go to our developer also for their information. I did mention that briefly to them. And the highlight of the meeting was a presentation by Library Director Ferguson of the historical resources available through the Raynham Library's website, including, among many other things, the complete copy of the history of Raynham, researched and compiled by the late M. Patrice White, former teacher in Raynham, longtime resident of Raynham. And I am rediscovering this book by rereading it again. So be prepared for some little reminders about Raynham's history over the weeks to come. But it's really fascinating. We have an incredible history here in Raynham, and our Historical Commission wants to promote that. And as part of that, they are wondering if there is any problem with the Historical Commission having their own Facebook page. So they're going to probably develop that again to try to get the word out in the community. And again, also on their website, they have Maggie Silver's collection of Raynham Remembers, which includes over 50 photos from Raynham's history. And the interest is to get more photos of Raynham's history, so we're going to try to reach out to the community and try to accomplish that. And that's all that I have, other than the fact that I did have a brief conversation with Kevin Ellis earlier today. As you know, Kevin and Shirley Ellis have coordinated Raynham Community Day, held in September every year for many years, previously known as Raynham Pride Day. And Kevin had reached out to the RAVE organization to perhaps get a little assistance because he and Shirley have some health issues. But after discussing it with Kevin, we feel that with the considering taking the utmost precaution for the health and safety of everyone involved, and with the recent uptick in COVID cases heading into the fall and an expected increase, that we think that it would be in everyone's best interest if we forego Community Day this year and begin the planning process, which Kevin says it can take almost a year, to plan for make 2022 the year when Raynham explodes with excitement and entertainment, both with our Memorial Day parade again and also Community Day. So unfortunately, I believe we're going to forego this year and plan for next year's event.
Sounds good. Thank you, Ms. Riley.
Thank you.
I just have one thing, and I'll have it on the agenda for 2 weeks out, but I wanted to bring it to the board to digest. As we start planning for capital planning, it's going to be my recommendation that we allocate a portion of those funds again to the public safety building. As I've said before, and I'll just say again, anytime we can take free cash, which has already been on the tax rolls and affected our taxpayers, and put it into this project will offset new taxes going to the taxpayers. And I think overwhelmingly, both at town meeting and at the town election, the public voted to support this, and I think we owe it to them to ensure we're doing everything we can to maximize their tax dollars and limit new tax impacts. And so a way we can do that, as we've done in the past couple of years, is to use a portion of free cash for that project. So I will be putting it on the agenda in 2 weeks for the board to take action on, but it's my recommendation that we do that. So I just wanted to let the board know. Correspondence, we have one piece. It's a tag day request for the Disabled American Veterans, Chapter 57, and those dates have been okay. What is the board's pleasure?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That is approved unanimously. No members of the press are with us this evening. Any emergency business, Mr. Shiva?
None.
Ms.
No,
Riley?
I have none.
No citizens or members of the community are with us this evening. Performance of administrative duties. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the Raynham invoice and payroll warrants.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That is approved. I will entertain a motion for the Raynham police invoice and payroll warrants.
So move.
Second.
And I'll do a roll call. Mr. Shivo?
Aye.
Ms. Riley?
Yes.
And I will abstain, and that passes. If there's no other business, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are
Aye.
adjourned.
Thank you.